The following program does not necessarily represent the views and opinions of Reality Radio 101, its advertisers and sponsors, or its listening audience. Listener discretion is advised. Good evening and welcome to this House of Musicians radio show with your host, singer, songwriter, and founder of the band, Inner City Outlaws, the Baritone Bear, Mr. Barry Smith, right here on Reality Radio 101. To get on board, send us an email right now. Our email address is thisHouseofMusicians@gmail.com or instudio101@gmail.com.
Oh, an hasty rockin' day. Oh, the classy chassis way.
And now, right to your host of this House of Musicians, Barry Smith.
Hey, welcome everybody. I hope you're all doing good out there. And also to our listener, welcome to this House of Musicians on Reality Radio 101. We hope you enjoy the next hour with us as we do our small part to promote venues, musicians, and bands. How you doing there, Gary?
Hanging in there, my friend. Hanging in there.
Well, that's good to hear. It's been darn hot, that's for sure.
For sure. This is probably, when you look at 2020, you could say 2020 was the best of times, the worst of times. We've had so much crap go on in the world and in our own country in 2020. However, we've also had some of the best weather on record in the last 30 years.
Yeah. Hey, there you go. That's quite the positive attitude. It's definitely been warm, that's for sure.
Yep, for sure.
Gary, I'm excited tonight. I got the one and only Tommy Grasley on the show, a.k.a. Tommy Gunn. Say hi to Tommy. How you doing, Tommy?
Hi, Tommy.
Hey, what's up, boys? Ready to have some fun?
We are. We're ready.
Absolutely, my man. That's what we
Awesome.
usually try to do. Is have some fun. How are you doing, Tommy?
I'm doing great, man. Hanging in there, with this COVID stuff, but, the best I can, like everybody else, not doing much.
Not doing much. Are you missing playing, though, I bet, live?
Yeah, I'm missing performing for sure. I'm marketing stuff, like promoting, doing all these radio shows as many as I can to try and get the word out about Tommy Gunn so that when we do play, it's going to be, a great time. I can't wait.
Absolutely. And I guess you have a lot of time on your hands to do homework. It's actually a good time to get stuff done over this last summer. That's for sure.
Definitely.
Let's tell the people what you're about, Tommy. You were born and raised in Hamilton?
Yes, I was born and raised in the Hammer. No question.
Awesome. Yeah. And tell me when you first got introduced to music, how that happened, and we'll start the show right off from there, bud, and get right up to what you're doing now.
Well, music came honestly enough because it's on both sides of my family. My father, of course, Sonny Del Rio, plays legendary sax player. Played sax, had bands in our living rooms, ever since I can remember. And it's still rocking. He's still doing great. And on my mom's side, my grandfather, had a piano right in his living room, and would stand up and just, start playing Frank Sinatra and stuff. And his cousin was Rod Stewart. So Rod Stewart's my cousin, second removed. That's
cool.
It's that's how it came, honestly enough. But I remember, being as a kid, I was surrounded with love and creativity, and it was fabulous. Believe me, I wouldn't change it for anything. However, there was good times and there was sort of bad times, so what feast or famine, so to speak. So, I just think that, when I was in my younger years, in my 20s and stuff, I had children, so I wanted to raise them. So I took a full-time job and tried to, be a little bit more stable for my children. However, it's hard when you're creative. Like, I never fit in the box in school. I never fit in the box really at work because I would get bored and stuff and whatever, write songs, start singing, whatever. But when I do my music, it's full-time love, and I think it comes through when I perform, and that's what brings me right up to where I am pretty much. During COVID, I wrote a new album, and I'm almost finished a book, which I want to release together on those two. But first, I'm going to do a bunch of shows for this album. I Believe in Love. It's a great album. A lot of great, iconic people were involved and showed me love by helping me create this album. And I think it's, a fabulous album.
Awesome. And let's go back and talk about we'll talk about the album. Let's go back and talk about your dad. How impressive. Sonny Del Rio, saxophone player, was in the band Crowbar. Let's talk about that for a bit. Did you get to see them play and stuff?
Well, funny. My dad played with Ray Materik for 10 years as well. Ray Materik, Linda Put the Coffee On. I don't know if you remember that song. That's Ray's song. He was big in Yorkville. And my dad played with Ray for 10 years, and then he joined Crowbar, Kelly J and King Biscuit Boy in about 1984. And that's when I first met them fellows. Now both are gone. They both passed away. Kelly just recently and Richard about 10 years ago. But, they created magic. I wrote a song on this album called Richard, in which Eddie Kramer produced. And,
cool.
And I think I did a pretty good job. I think Richard would be proud of it, and I know I am. So, I mentioned that's when I met them for the first time, those guys in 84. And like, they first showed me magic. I swear to God, they first showed me magic in music. And
that's awesome.
I was very fortunate.
Yeah, they had the big hit, Oh, What a Feeling. That was huge, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So were your parents playing music when you were younger? Who were you first introduced to? Who did you fall in love with? Who did you say, holy smokes, I dig this band, guy, girl, whatever? Who was it?
I would have to say it was the Bee Gees. How
cool.
Can You Mend a Broken Heart? I remember dancing in the living room with my mom to that song. Elton John. My parents turned me on to all kinds of music. ELO, Paul McCartney, the Beatles, of course, George Harrison, John Lennon, all of them, all those classics I grew up with. And, and they inspired me. And I think it was the best time for music personally. And that's how I rate my songs. My songs are that kind of sound today. It's rock and roll, man. But on this album, I kind of varied a bit. I went 4 genres on this album. There's a blues song, there's a metal song, there's glam rock, and there's rock and roll, and there's a little jazzy thing in the middle of it all. So, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Cool, man. Exciting.
It's really
do the album. Go ahead.
I know. I'm sorry. I know we got 2 songs tonight, but really the album is a start to finish listen, because it goes from hate to love from start to finish. That's how it's meant to hear. That's the experience. But Granted, tonight we're going to hear 2 tracks, which is cool. And they're great tracks.
Great, man. That's great. And I know you're kind of on the same page as me when it comes to spread love, not hate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Positivity, man. I've done the other, and it got me nowhere, so love is where it's at, and people respond to it a lot better, positive people.
They sure do.
Man, I can tell a negative person right away from, the first few words out of their mouths. And I just don't have time for it. Time is our biggest commodity. And there's no guarantees on how much time you have in this world. So I don't want to waste any time on negativity personally.
100%. Well, I'm on your side right there. Buddy, in 2007, you wrote an album, Unleash the Hounds, and did an album which charted number 7 in Australia. How cool was that? Let's talk about that for a bit.
Oh man, that was a great album. I love playing the songs. And, I love that experience because I did some. My dad actually produced that album, and I recorded it at Georgie Fab's Cellar Full of Noise studio. And Tom Wilson, helped me with one song, and my father, he helped me with a couple other songs, and I had a great time with that. I think it's a great album. Mark Gemmell on guitar goes crazy. Mark's an unbelievable guitar player, and probably, one of the best in the city, really, in Hamilton. And probably, if he really put his mind to it, he could do a lot of things. But he was great on the album. We captured the best of him, that's for sure.
And so I guess you toured that album when it came out. You did a lot of shows promoting it?
Yeah, I did a lot of shows. That came out in 2013. I did a whole pile of shows. And then I decided I wanted to write another album. So I stopped doing shows and I just wrote another album, and then I did it with a friend of mine. He helped me. He co-produced and helped shape all the songs, Mike King. He's in a band called Company of Strangers. Great guy and great bass player. He played bass on every track on this album. And now I've put the band together with some great members. John Bianchini on guitar. He plays guitar on the one song Haters on this album, but he's in the band. And Chris Demeanor Wilson on the other guitar. He's a fantastic guitar player. And Ray Baum on bass. So this band's going to be unbelievable. The show's going to be great. I can't wait to do it. And yeah.
Well, we can't wait to get you back out there playing, man, so we can come. The wife and I can come and check out some of your gigs. That'll just be an absolute blast. It also says that you collaborated with some real cool artists on this, on the album you just did, Bud. Eddie Kramer, who, produced Beatles, Zeppelin, Hendrix, Dale Harrison from the Headstones. Everyone has heard of Dale Harrison. Greg Godovich from Gatto, Kim Deschamps from Blue Rodeo. Man, oh man, you had some huge collaborations with you on this album. How was that?
That was fantastic, man. And how about Dan Fila from Svengali and Joey Varga from Varga, and
absolutely
Rudy Hogg from a band called Seppler, and the list goes on and on. Sonny Del Rio with and Kevin Fox, and how about this? How about Dale Harrison, the drummer from the Headstones, playing piano with my father, Sonny Del Rio, and Kevin Fox on cello on that little jazz thing. It was unbelievable, man. And it all came together. Everybody was fabulous. I'll tell you, Greg Godovich, I co-wrote a song with him, Love Conquers All, we're playing tonight. Greg is one of my heroes, I'll just say. Great guy. Greg, I think, wrote Gatto. The intro to An Act of Gatto is probably the best intro in rock and roll. And, Greg was very generous with his vocals. He helped out on numerous songs as well. You'll hear Greg's voice in there. I mean, just an iconic Canadian icon, no question. And very fortunate to have Greg help and give love in his way by playing unbelievable and singing fabulously.
For sure, man. We had Greg on the show. He's quite the character. He's amazing.
He is. And Dale played on six tracks. He plays drums on 6 tracks and that piano a little bit there. And Dale's fabulous too. Like, I can't say enough about these people. They're just so generous with their time and their craft, and
sure.
They are, some of the best.
How did you set that up? Did you call them all up and say, "Hey guys, I'm doing an album. Do you want to come play on it?" How did all that work? Because that's, like I say, it's an impressive list of names.
Well, it's funny, man. We haven't mentioned Michael Weckerly yet, and Michael Weckerly, is the fellow who bought the Elma combo and put a little ton of dough into it and made it something unbelievable. And Tommy Gunn's going to be playing at the Elma combo. But Michael Weckerly is a friend of mine, and he was on the Dragon's Den, and he brought Eddie Kramer to the Elma combo, and Michael, got Eddie Kramer to produce the song. So that's how I got Eddie Kramer. Michael actually plays on the track, harmonica. And
Amazing.
The song's Richard, yeah. And Greg, Eddie not only helped produce that song, but he also was very generous with his time. He came with Greg and helped out there. And man, when Eddie Kramer came into the studio, I'll just tell you this: when Eddie Kramer came into the studio, he tweaked every hardware in the studio. He tweaked every hardware in the studio, and in record time too. And everybody from that studio, Rose Room, Galen Weston's studio, who's also on this song, who's an amazing guitar player on the song. Everybody was running around taking pictures of the settings. Like Galen never heard that tone from the guitar before. Like different things.
Wow.
Because Eddie's like one of a kind, right? So it was an amazing experience, honestly. And I was very fortunate. And I think it reflects in the album. Like you can actually feel the love. And yeah, it was great, man.
It's cool that Eddie Kramer's touched a lot of locals that we know around here. I know he remastered Greg's song Under My Hat. And man, does that thing ever sound good? We've got that. They got that synth sound up louder now and stuff, and the vocals are pristine. So the cahoots to Eddie Kramer for helping out the local boys. That's for sure.
And the Cat's, probably, I think he's 75, and he's probably like the busiest guy in rock and roll right now. Well, not before COVID.
Yeah, he probably is the busiest guy with COVID still, doing all this stuff. Hey, man, listen, Tommy, we got it. Let's read an email, and then we're going to play one of your tunes off of your album, buddy. So this is an email from Ben J, and Ben says, "Hi, gentlemen, listening from Santa Rosa, California. Nice interview. Can't wait until this COVID thing is over with so that we can get right back to live performances. Rock on." Like I said earlier, I'm sure you're missing playing live, bud?
Definitely. Thanks, Jay. You rock, brother. I can't wait to hopefully hook up down there.
Wouldn't that be cool? Get down to the States.
Well, I'm going back to LA to record this next album, and I'm going to have very iconic U.S. names on this album. So, the best is yet to come, man, from Tommy Gunn. I'll tell you that much.
Well, that's awesome. Why don't we tell the people right now, before we play this song, how they can find your stuff, your web presence, your links, whatever, how they can reach out and listen to some of your stuff, man. Let the people know for me.
Yeah, it's everywhere. I'm on YouTube. Tommy Gunn is one word, all capitals, all one word with two N's, of course. I'm at Tommy Gunn Hound for Twitter, Tommy Gunn Love for Instagram, Tommy Grasley on Facebook, Tommy Gunn on Facebook, YouTube. It's out there on Spotify, Tommy Gunn, all capitals, iTunes, Tommy Gunn, all capitals, and you'll find it all there. I have it on one link. You can get it everything on one link. It's called SocialTap, and it's socialtap.com/Tommy Gunn, all caps.
Well, good for you, man. I know you. Go ahead.
If you Google Tommy Gunn, and if you don't do all caps, you do it, or you don't do it one word, all caps, it'll come up like Tommy Gunn. My friend in California is Tommy Lawrence. He was on Sons of Anarchy. But he was also a porn star, so Tommy Gunn, the porn star, comes up. And then also Tommy Gunn, the boxer, Tommy Gunn Morrison. So, but if you go all capitals, that's why it's like that. There's only one musician, Tommy Gunn, me. That's it.
Absolutely. There you go, folks. Tommy Gunn, all capitals and all one word. Bud, let's play a song here. And then after the song, we'll do a couple shout out to our sponsors. And then we'll talk about your album, I Believe in Love, man. This is a song that you guys have called Junction 66. I know you have a cool story about it you want to talk about. So We'll touch on that after the folks listen to the song. But let's just talk about where you did the song and maybe who's playing on it.
Well, we recorded this album in Toronto at Rose Room Studios, Gale and Weston Studios in Toronto. And who's on this song is myself on lead vocals, Mike King on bass, Joey Varga from Varga on guitar and backup vocals, and Dan Fila on drums from Varga and Svengali. And
awesome, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's kind of a medley song, and it's a dedication to one of my friends. But I'll touch on that after you hear it.
Yeah, we'll touch on it after the folks hear it, and then they get a chance to hear what the song is before you talk about it a bit. But anyway, again, folks, I have Tommy Grasley, a.k.a. Tommy Gunn, all capitals, folks, on this House of Musicians radio show tonight. We're going to play one of Tommy's original songs right now called Junction 66. Again, folks, we're here with Tommy Grasley, a.k.a. Tommy Gunn, and we're going to listen to Junction 66, Tommy's song, right here on this House of Musicians radio show on Reality Radio 101. Welcome back, folks. We just heard Tommy Grasley, a.k.a. Tommy Gunn, song Junction 66 off his album, which I dig, Believe in Love. The album is called I Believe in Love, which you can listen to anywhere, Spotify. It's all over the place, folks. Just go search for I Believe in Love, Tommy Gunn, all capitals. Tommy, man, Junction 66, what a great song. We just all listened to it. Let's touch on that for a bit. How you wrote it, what it's about.
Yeah, man. I co-wrote that song with the bass player, Mike King. Mike wrote the music and I wrote the lyrics to it. And it's a song that Mike, myself, Joey Varga, and Dan Fila all went to school with our friend Jeff Carl Thompson, JCT, who was taken from us in 1989. And he was born in 1966. So that's why Junction 66 is actually his initials and the year he was born. But it's also,
cool.
If you look at a sign, they have the junction and then usually the number of the highway, Junction 66. So that's why I named it that. But in reality, that's why we called it that. And we all went to school with Jeff. And so we wanted to pay tribute to him. And I think we did a pretty good job. I think it's a pretty good song. What do you think?
Good. I think it's a good song, buddy. And what a nice tribute. Again, there's the love part of it all when you're writing songs about somebody that you care about that has passed on. Great for you, man. When you write a song, Tommy, what's your creativity like? I know I sit down with a guitar, put a couple riffs down, and then come back to it maybe a couple weeks later and turn it into a song. If I still like the riffs, I know a lot of people write different. They have different ways to write. I know we had a guy on the show that just writes poems and turns those into songs, which is pretty darn cool too. But what is your how do you go about doing it? What is your creative process when it comes to writing a song?
For me, it's like I'll just start playing the guitar and develop sort of a melody with the guitar, and then I put words to the melody the rhythm that I've created with the guitar, and that's where, as far as I go with the creativeness, really, because what I do is I form the base of the song, because it's really root chords and stuff, and then I build it from there, and I put a ghost vocal, like I'll write the words to it, and then I build the song from there. That's how I write songs, and I write them mostly about experiences with people I know or someone who I've crossed in my journey. And that's how I write songs.
Yeah, that's cool, man. It's always from the heart and exactly, what's going on in your life or whatnot. So that's always a good way to write songs, is about things that are going on in your life. Yeah.
I mean, like, you only have one, right? I mean, you die once, so live every day. And I spent the first part of my life, not being the nicest fellow. Like, I drank way too much, like, got out of control. I was too much for my friends, like, really, I was, and I had a lot of pent up anger, I think, because my parents divorced and, I don't know, I was bullied when I was a younger kid, and it just kind of exploded in my teen years. But, I quit drinking at 33 and, for a long time. It straightened me out, quite frankly. But I wasn't in a great space, so to speak. But I was in a long-term relationship with the girl I met when I was young. We had a couple of kids together. But anyways, I met my wife, and my wife, we split up. I was on my sister's couch for a year, and I met my wife, and my wife, Amy Goldberg, by the way, turned my life completely around, 180, and made my heart go from black to red, and made me believe in love again. And she inspired the whole album.
Amazing what a woman can do, eh?
Not just a woman, she's amazing.
There you go, man. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy that you got your stuff together. I mean, definitely giving up alcohol, you see things from a different light after you've been off alcohol for a while.
Yeah, not just that. I mean, like, there's a lot of drugs and stuff like that as well. Like, you get crazy out there. You know what it was like. I mean, maybe you don't, but a lot of people do. And
Oh, I do.
you know, it gets a little carried away sometimes, and you're not always right. Sometimes you're wrong. And so it's something
Right.
that you have to, it takes years to develop and understand, clearly. Well, it took me
then
years, let's just say that.
Sure. And then you get up to around my age now and you're like, you just can't be bothered to go party. A lot of the times it just takes so much out of you.
I know. But
It takes 2 or 3 days to recover now.
I know. It's crazy, eh?
Absolutely. Well, man, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead, Tommy.
My wife put me in the best shape possible, man. I run every other day about 7 kilometers and do weights.
Wow.
And, I'm staying in game shape. I'm ready to hit the stage, man. I'm telling you, I am ready. Best shape of my life.
That's great.
Right now. Yeah.
Good for you. She's priming you up for all the gigs coming up. That's great.
World tour.
Oh man, that's amazing. What do you play any instruments at all?
Guitar. I write songs on guitar.
Cool. Do you play them on stage as well?
I could, but I don't, because
Right.
I find that what happens is it takes away from my vocal, because I'm concentrating on playing. And so I just feel that, I got Chris Demeanor Wilson and John Bianchini on each side of me. Like, why do I need to play guitar? I just want to sing and entertain my audience. That's what the show's all about. And I don't like going to see a band where they just stand there and don't do anything. I like to be very engaged with my audience, and that's where I put all my focus. So that's why I just sing, and I let these guys go crazy, and they're fabulous.
I can't wait to come out and check you out, man. We'll do a Facebook live feed or something and get you up on this House of Musicians. That'll be awesome. Looking forward to it, Tommy.
You and me both, brother.
We got another email. Yeah, well, hey, man, we'll come to the Elma Combo. I can't wait till that place is cooking again.
It's going to be cranked.
We're hoping so. That's for sure. Hey, we got another email, bud. This is from Daredevil. Yep, Daredevil. He says, great story as a comeback in life. And Daredevil's glad to hear it. But again, he just tuned in, so he wants to know where he can pick up your stuff and listen to your stuff. So again, Tommy, just tell us your web presence. Tell us all about your web presence, bud.
For Daredevil, no problem. Daredevil Man. I'm at Twitter at Tommy Gunn Hound. I'm at Instagram at Tommy Gunn Love. I'm at Facebook, Tommy Grasley, Grasley, and I'm also have a Tommy Gunn page on Facebook. You can get my music on Spotify, Tommy Gunn, all capitals, one word. You can get it on iTunes, all capitals, one word, Tommy Gunn, 2 N's, TOMMYGUNN, all capitals, one word. You'll find it.
And
there you go, Daredevil.
There you go, Mr. Devil. You can find Tommy right online. There you go.
I dare you.
Absolutely, man. Let's just touch on the album again. I Believe in Love, man. I know we talked about where you recorded it and that. How long did it take you to do it?
Well, it took me a little while because, trying to get everybody, all the logistics and everything, it was a little bit of a challenge, but I don't know, it took probably about a year and a half really to complete it completely.
Sure.
With, by the way, the late Nick Lagona mixed and mastered it. Nick did every Deep Purple album, every Ian Gillan solo album, Whitesnake, Rainbow, you name it, Rush, the list goes on and on. The Tone Guru. Nick was amazing, man. And
amazing.
I spent 10 days with him when we mixed it and mastered it. And then right after, Nick took me to Cots Coliseum where Judas Priest and Deep Purple were playing and introduced me to Deep Purple and Ian Gillan and Roger Glover, Don Airey, Ian Pace. I met all of them. It was really cool.
Oh, man. Are you kidding? That's way more than cool. That's awesome, buddy. Good for you.
Yeah, Nick was an amazing, amazing man, and he had a lot of love, and man, he was a hit to the music industry when he passed away. Amazing guy. He mastered my first album as well.
That's amazing. Good. Yeah. Good for you. So what do you got? What do you got going on at the moment? Like, what are you working on, bud?
Well, I wrote a new album, so right now I'm working on getting this out around the world. I've been doing all these shows in Nashville, Atlanta, New Jersey.
Good for you.
LA. I've done a couple of LA shows, and so I'm trying to get the word out, because I'm going to tour and I'm going to do a big tour, and it's all in discussion right now. So nothing's set in motion yet because nobody wants to pull the trigger yet. So there's nothing really planned, but there's a lot of planning going on, if you know what I mean. So, but I can promise you, it's going to be great.
Well, that's good, man. And like I said, it'll be great to get out and see you. That's for sure. Tommy, I always like to ask the artists that come on the show, tell me some crazy story, either performing live or after a show or whatever. But during all your musical journey, tell me one crazy story that's happened, man. Something that, is amusing or funny or just all around crazy.
Oh, man. Well, I can tell you something when I was a kid. Something that was crazy. My first experience with music and rock and roll really was with my father. My father was playing in a band called the Terranaya Experiment, and they were playing a show, and
that's
I went.
Sorry, that's Sonny Del Rio, right? Saxophone player.
Yeah. Right. Georgie Fab on guitar. The GOAT, Donnie Rowan, played in that band. Jack Pedler from Teenage Head played in that band. There's a couple other, Chris Tuttle on synthesizer played in that band. Anyways, I was 10 years old, and they played at Simcoe Arena, and they played with Lighthouse and A Foot in Cold Water.
Cool.
And they were the first band to open up. So we went, and the promoter took a liking to me and kind of like let me hang out with them. And I went all through the arena and stuff, walking around, seeing what everybody was doing, backstage, everything. And then he ended up letting me carrying all the money from the concert across the street to a lawyer's office where they counted it. Yeah, it was only
That's
10.
crazy.
Yeah. So, and then, of course, went and saw the show.
Can I ask how much money it was, Tommy?
Oh, I don't remember, man. No, I don't remember.
You were 10, so even if it was 10 grand, it would have felt like a $500,000, right? You were 10.
Yeah. Well, and I met Skip Prokop, when I was 10 years old.
Cool.
Lighthouse, Foot in Cold Water. Yeah, it was great. Really pretty. Yeah. And then the experience just went crazy after that. I met so many people through my father because when he played in Crowbar, I met a lot of people, met a lot of my heroes like Brian Glennie. That was a cool experience. And we can't talk about it on the show, but I'll talk about it some other time. Yeah, it was really cool, man.
Good for you, man.
The best time so far has been in Los Angeles. I've been really received well in Los Angeles. And the last time I was there for 6 weeks with my wife. We stayed at my brother-in-law's place, and it was just really, I met some really great people, and they want to work with me. That's why I'm going to go down there, and they're all former MCA record guys, but they love rock and roll, and they love my music, and they want to work with me. So that's why I'm going down there. So, and plus, there's some people there that I'm going to get to play on the album. So, and I'm not going to.
Well, good for you. We wish you the best of luck with the new album, man. I know we're still reeling over this last album. So why don't we go right ahead and play the next song off of your album, I Believe in Love, man. This song's called Love Conquers All, Tommy. Why don't we go ahead and play it? And then another shout out to our sponsors. And then we'll come back and talk about the song Love Conquers All. How does that sound, buddy?
Well, I'll tell you one quick thing. I wrote this song in 15 minutes with Greg Godovitz in apparently Larry Gowan's studio in Toronto. I don't know. It was a studio in Toronto anyways. And I wrote it in 15 minutes with Greg, and it just flowed. And this is it.
Well, tell me how you set that up to work with Greg and to write that song with him. I know you said you wrote it quickly, but just to be able to write it with Greg to begin with, how were you guys hooked up?
Well, Greg, we met Greg, Amy and I met Greg and hung out with him numerous times. And then we did we were going to do something else with Greg. We're thinking of doing something else with Greg, but we didn't. Amy's a producer of feature film and television, so there was a lot of discussions and stuff going on. And I said to Greg, hey, I would like to write a song, and he goes, with you? And he goes, yeah, sure, man, no problem. Like, Greg is very generous, really nice guy if you get to know him, and so I was fortunate to spend some time with him, and it's all because of my wife, really, Amy. I mean,
sure.
She's so amazing. Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, you know what? Greg's a popular guy, man, because almost every artist we have on the show has I mentioned to say about something to say about Greg. So he's definitely been the most popular person we've had on the show as far as other artists having stories. I know we had Ed Pilling on the show, man, and he was talking quite a bit about Greg. Of course, they're really tight, but and they have been for 100 years. So that's absolutely amazing. We're also looking forward to getting Greg back on the show. Let's get back to talk about Tommy Gunn, man. I want to play this song, "Love Conquers All," buddy, and then we'll come back and talk about it, why you wrote it, where it came from. And I know you said you wrote it in 15 minutes with Greg, so I'm excited to hear it again. Folks, you are listening to Tommy Grasley, a.k.a. all capitals, Tommy Gunn, on Reality Radio 101. We're going to listen to his song off his album, I Believe in Love. This album is, this song is called "Love Conquers All," right here on Reality Radio 101.
Love and hate is hate. Knock it off, before it's too late. You have your say and I have mine, as long as you can find the time. Love conquers all. Love conquers all. Yeah, love conquers all. Is that enough? You voted it wrong and it went to be. Now look what's happening in the Middle East. Until they come down from the sky, it's up to us to know the how and why. Love conquers all. Love conquers all. Yeah, love conquers all. Is that enough?
Hey, welcome back, folks. You just heard Love Conquers All by Tommy Grasley, a.k.a. All Capitals. I keep stressing all capitals because that's what you want to look for when you search up on the internet Tommy Gunn, all one word. Tommy, man, what a groovy little song, funky song, Love Conquers All. Let's talk about that for a little bit. First of all, how you wrote the song, and I'm sure it had a lot to do with your wife writing that song, and just how you got the groove, man.
Yeah, well, I was talking with Greg, and I said, I want this album. I want it to go from hate to love, and this is where the transition is. So I need to write something about Love Conquers All because it's a tagline at the end of the song Haters, and so that the three songs connect. And anyways,
yep.
So we about 15 minutes, man. We banged it out. Greg had that down.
Cool.
What do you think about that? I go, that sounds great, man. And so, and Mike King on bass, he's an amazing bass player. Joey Varga was doing the background vocals at the end there, Love Conquers All, Love Conquers All. And there I had my wife, Amy, and Michael Weckerly's daughter, Raquel Weckerly, great vocalist. She's just starting her career as well. And Joey Varga, the three, and Greg, of course, all of them were on harmonies for the vocals.
Fabulous song, man. It's definitely very groovy. And just let's talk about where you recorded that again.
I recorded at the Rose Room Studios in Toronto. And Greg on guitar there, he's fabulous. He said, "Oh, this is my Neil Young lead, man." And then there you go.
Cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was really a fun experience,
Oh, I'm sure it was, bud. Well, you got a lot of great songs out there for people to listen to. So that's very impressive and good for you. And we can't wait till you get back out there on the road. And so, like I say, hopefully the El Macombo will get down there and see you. I mean, if the El Macombo gets cooking, there will be a lot of artists going down there playing every weekend for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. It is amazing. Really, he put a lot of money into it. It's something that it's probably the best venue, like a 500 person bar in the world. I mean, it's really super cool.
Sure.
All the cool touches. The guy is an amazing guy, Michael Weckerly, very smart. And believe me, he's single-handedly saving rock and roll. Believe it or not, mark my words. The El Macombo is going to be the mecca of rock and roll.
Yeah, man, we're looking forward to that for sure, and looking forward to seeing you play in there. Tommy, there's a sequence I like to do on the show called, "Well, Gary, what do you think?"
Woo! I want his autograph. I'll tell you that. He's played with so many great people that are well known in Canada and stuff, and we can only, hope that someday we could do the same. But congratulations, Tommy. I think you're on the right track, and good luck with your future projects.
Oh, I'm very excited about the next one, bro. Very excited. I don't want to jinx myself, so I don't want to talk about it, but thank you very much. You fellas are really kind and very generous, and I love your show. I follow it. I'm on your group. I think you guys are great. You're onto something here, and your demeanor, the way you talk, it's so cool, laid back. I really dig it. And Edmund on this show, Edmund's a class act icon. Greg Golovitz icon. You're having iconic guys on your show. So I mean, you're bound to be successful. Just keep it up, man, and keep going because it's working.
Oh, we appreciate
That's
that.
great.
We
Thank
appreciate
you.
that support from you, Tommy. Yeah, and Gary definitely has a wonderful thing going here. We will certainly be promoting your music, and wherever you're playing, I'm going to do that on the show too. I'm hoping to have a list. Believe it or not, we had one gig already for promotion, and the damn thing got canceled. So I was ecstatic because I think after 6 or 7 months, no one's playing anywhere. I'm like, I can't wait to start telling people where all the venues are. But of course, that got blown out of the water too. But that's okay. I think it'll start happening sooner or later. I mean, sooner or later. Hopefully sooner.
Yeah, and my sound, is not unplugged. It's plugged right in, rock and roll, right in your face. So I will not do any unplugged shows or anything like that. I'm not doing that because I want it to be what's supposed to be. That's the experience. Rock and roll in your face, just like Gatto. It's rock and roll in your face, and it's the best kind of rock and roll in your face.
Yeah, and okay, I agree. Right now, you're young. Wait till you're older like us. You'll be doing lots of unplugged stuff. lots of just you and an acoustic. But no, man, I'm just rising you up, riling you up there. That's
No, I hear you. It's coming. It's not going to be long.
It's coming.
When it finally does, it's going to be a revolution, man, of rock and roll. I'm telling you.
There you go. Hey, Mick Jagger can still run around, and Keith Richards. So you have a lot of years ahead of you to dominate the stage, my man. That's for sure.
Right on, man. That's it for sure.
Absolutely, Tommy. So what else do you do in your spare time, man? I know right now musicians are scurrying and trying to make money other ways. What are you doing, buddy?
Well, I'm fortunate enough to, I'm chill right now at the moment, but
sure.
I'm just, trying to be creative. I spend a lot of time with my wife. I try and stay active and be, very fit. That's what I try and do. I know it's very easy to put on weight when you're sitting around doing nothing every day. So I try not to do that. I try to be exercise and stay game shape, man, and the band is starting to rehearse again. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited. I really love rehearsing. It's like therapy for me. And then performing is just orgasmic, honestly. For me, it really is.
Yeah, sure. Of course. That's why we do it, man. We love it. And you guys, how often do you rehearse? Are you rehearsing in Toronto?
No, in Hamilton. I make the trek in to Hamilton, and
nice.
'cause all the other members are in Hamilton at the moment, and I rehearse at QED Media. I'd like to plug that. QED Media is probably the best rehearsal place I've ever rehearsed in, with Dave Beatty. He's unbelievable. He was in Toronto, now he's in Hamilton, and he's just super full of love, and it's just a great place to rehearse. And it's just like a bar, except nobody's in it, so.
Well, that's killer. There's nothing better than that ambience, that's for sure. Folks, we are listening to, you have heard today, you're listening to Tommy Grasley, a.k.a. Tommy Gunn. You can find him all over the web, Tommy Gunn, all capital letters and one word. Tommy, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. Now we're going to follow your progress as time goes on here, and we get out of this stupid COVID thing. We get out of it, and all the artists get back to playing and doing their job and entertaining all the people. We're going to get out and see a lot of shows and videotape a lot of people and put them in the group and do lots of interviews and stuff. So we're going to follow your progress, man. I appreciate you joining the group, folks. We have a Facebook group called This House of Musicians. If you want to follow local acts, there's a lot of musicians and fans in this group, so please join This House of Musicians on Facebook. Every week I do a promo in there for the next artist that's coming on Tuesday nights, of course, from 7 till 8 p.m. on Reality Radio 101 here. So a little plug for This House of Musicians. Go join up on that Facebook group. Tommy, again, man, what a pleasure to have you. You're a sweet guy. I love the fact that you're promoting love. That's an amazing thing. Everybody needs that this day and age. And it's been an honor to have you, man.
Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. My pleasure.
Well, like I said, we'll follow your progress. Me and you will personally stay in touch, and we'll get out and see you play. Thanks again, Tommy.
No problem. My pleasure. Have a great night.
And thank you. And to the listener, I say thank you for being here, and always dance and sing, and let the music bring your soul to the surface for all the world to see. Until next time, have a shuffle your feet kind of week, and good night. You've been listening to This House of Musicians radio show on Reality Radio 101.